Good evening. Hope you're having a fantastic week. That this week of February is off to a fantastic start. Today, I want to talk to you about something that I think is sorely lacking in most businesses. And I know that over the years, I have done a poor job in some of my businesses. And it is something that will help you team members up and running faster. It will help you retain team members and it will help your team grow faster. So, and that subject is onboarding. Like you've invested a lot of money in finding the right candidate and recruiting someone to come to work for you that's going to be part of your team, and you want them to get started quickly. You want them to contribute right away. You want to mesh them with the team, and you want to get them productive so and you want to retain them. You want, so if it comes on and you've done all this great work to get them there, but you don't have a good onboarding process, well, then you may lose them before you ever get started, or you're going to at least make it more difficult for yourself. Now, I don't know about you, but here's how I used to do it. I would hire somebody and I would say to my right hand person, I would say, "Hey, Tommy, this is Jim, and Jim's going to follow you around for a few days and figure out what to do. You just teach him what you know. Jim, you're going to follow Tommy around, enjoy it, go have a good time." Now, do you think that was very effective? Well, it worked, but it wasn't the best way to get it. It is part of a way to get people trained, but it is not the complete way. So I think the old way is throw people in the pool, hope they swim. If they don't, they sink, they move on. It doesn't work out. To me, that doesn't make any sense. So here's some things about onboarding that I believe should be in onboarding. Number one, you should include a lot of time in talking about vision, talking about the history of the company, talking about how, what the program is, what's the knowledge that they need to know about how the company got started, where it's headed, the history. Some of that stuff is very, very important to understand about the company. So, vision, mission, and culture. What's the mission? What are we here about? How do we choose to work together? What's the culture? Listen, if you don't have a vision, mission, and culture statement, those are the three first steps to getting your business systemized so it can run without you. So, if you need some help with that, reach out to me. The website's below, but billgilliland.actioncoach.com, or and we can help you build that. If you've already got it, great, but make sure that it's written. So you want to spend quite a lot of time indoctrinating them into the vision of the company, the mission of the company, and the culture. And a lot of you don't have culture statements, but if you do, great. Then that's something you can spend some time on. Here's the culture of the company. Here's what it's about. Here's who we are. Here's how it works. So that's number one. I guess that's actually three, but we'll go with number one. Number two, you need to indoctrinate them into the skills that they need to have. So maybe they bring skills because you've recruited them, but there are probably some extra skills that they're going to need to pick up. So they need to be indoctrinated into the complete range of skills that they're going to need to have. So they need skills education. Now, the part that I was doing was OJT, on the job training. Now, that's still a part of it. It's still a part of it. It's still great to have them go out and hang out with people. Maybe get some of the team members to take them to lunch so they can talk about things, so they can get to know each other, so they can mesh with the team. But there's also on the job training, like maybe they spend time with all kinds of department, around the different people who can help them with their to get indoctrinated into the company. So the fifth thing is the way we do things. So what is the way we do things? Okay, I guess that's the fourth thing. The way we do things. So what is the company way? So the policies and procedures and those kind of things that would be in there. The fifth thing would be, do they need any outside education? So are there things that maybe they need training on, or they need something how to give, an example would be, potentially maybe you're hiring a manager who's got a good sales background, but they really need some management training, or maybe they're good at managing, but they need some sales training. Whatever outside stuff that they may need to get, you may want to invest in that as part of their onboarding process. Number 5, I think, setting down and letting them know what the clear expectations, goals, and outcomes for their position. What is it you expect the outcome to be for those positions? Which brings me to my next, which is my 7th, which is measurements. So what are you actually measuring? What are the things that you are, what are the things, the metrics or the KPIs for that position? That should be clear as part of the expectations and outcome, how they're going to be measured and how that's going to show up and where they can find it. Okay, because what gets inspected gets respected. All right, number 8, I think regular meetings. Now you might have regular onboarding meetings, but at some point you're going to want to have regular meetings with direct reports or whoever they're reporting with. Now we do something called LION, which means it's LION. It stands for what happened last week. So how'd you do on your goals last week? What kind of issues did you have? So we discuss the individual issues with them. What are the opportunities for this week? What are the things we're going to be working on? Are there any other outside opportunities? And what are you going to get done next week? So what are you going to get done next week? So that would generally happen. I generally like to do those meetings on Thursday, so that we can get the next week in place. They can finish this week strong and then get the next week in place. So, and then the last thing is really more of a mindset is, hey, the onboarding really never ends. We never stop getting better. We never stop bringing them into the team. In fact, they become people that help us onboard the next employees. So that is the way to go. So vision, mission, and culture, skills, on-the-job training, outside education, the way we do things, policies and procedures, clear expectations, goals, and outcomes, measurements, the LION meeting, and then the onboarding never ends. So I hope find this helpful. I hope you'll use this in your next onboarding. If you'd like some help getting, I guess the last thing was, what's your process? If you don't have a solid process for onboarding, well, then this will give you some ideas. So the 10th and final, I give you a bonus, have a process. If you'd like some help putting your process in place, then just reach out to me here. My email, everything will be around this video. Or you can go on and book a strategy session with me or one of my team members at billgilliland.actioncoach.com. So until next time, I hope you have a fantastic week and all the best.